Ladies and gentlemen, we're at Shoreline 35 and we're hanging out with the lovely Ms. Julie Caitlin Brown, who has made her mark on the sci-fi world playing the character Natoth in the groundbreaking series Babylon 5, and guest starred in roles in Star Trek Next Generation and Star Trek Deep Space Nine, as well as guest starred in many of the top TV shows throughout the 90s. Ms. Brown is not only a talented actress, but a singer, musician, writer, and a talent agent who runs her own talent agency, helping her fellow actors get work. Ms. Brown, welcome and thank you for taking time to talk with us in the Sci-Fi Diner podcast.
Well, thank you very much for having me. This is very good, and you seem to have hit all the different beats there. Very nice of you to do your research.
It's important. I know who I'm talking to.
That's right.
A little to who I'm talking to. So a few months ago, Phoenix Comic-Con celebrated the 20th anniversary pilot episode of Babylon 5. Congratulations on that, by the way. How did the celebration go? Were you able to get most of the remaining cast members there?
We were. It's very sad to see how many of our cast members are no longer with us, right. But we did have quite a few people. I think we had 14 in total, including Joe Straczynski, and a surprise visit by John Flynn, who was our director of photography for the entire season. He happens to live in Phoenix, so we got him out too. It was like a high school reunion. It was pretty funny to see how people have changed and how they've stayed the same, and the fans really liked it. So did we.
I bet. I'm always fascinated by an actor's experience in the prosthetics and makeup. What was it like for you becoming Natoth and some of the other characters you played in other sci-fi shows?
Well, I think coming from theater, I work from the inside out, which means I have to know what the text is intending. Whenever I can speak with the writer, when we couldn't with someone like Joe Straczynski, that's always helpful. And you understand what they're asking of you as an actor. And then that text, the script, informs the character, but something does happen when you start putting prosthetics on your face, because you disappear.
Right.
You disappear into that character, and I think that's why people like Johnny Depp enjoy doing these roles, that he hides himself. You know, he's covered in wigs and mascara, and it does allow you to play more deeply in being somebody else. So, as difficult as the prosthetics are, it's very rewarding as an actor.
So you did enjoy the challenge of it?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, we know you best for your work in front of the camera, but you've also done Broadway theater, and you are a singer. What Broadway shows have you done, and please tell us about some of your music projects. Well,
I've actually only been blessed to do one Broadway show. It was the Tony Award-winning Grand Hotel, the musical for Tommy Tune. And I stepped into that auditioning for a lead role to go on the national tour. And it was my only audition in New York. At that point, I had just gotten back east. I was 29 years old. And Tommy said, nope, we want you for Broadway. So I took over a lead role in a Broadway musical my first time out for 18 months. And then I got done with that, and I went to Los Angeles and began working in television and film. But yeah, so my music has always been there. I started playing guitar when I was 10 years old. I started playing for weddings when I was 12. I was a National School Choral Award winner in high school. I started writing music when I was 13. And the first album, Shed in My Skin, was released in 1997. The second album was in 2000, called Struck by Lightning. Been doing concerts off and on ever since. Not as much as of late, but going back to it a little bit. It's been really, really fun.
Your own music, how would you describe your style in your music?
I'm a singer-songwriter who's got roots in jazz, blues, and rock and roll.
Okay, good. Now, if anyone would like to get one of your CDs, what's the easiest way to buy one?
Well, you can go to CD Baby. You can go to iTunes, Amazon. Almost all of the major outlets have them for downloadable. If you want the entire album, CD Baby is the best way to go.
Excellent. You've been helping your fellow actors as an agent. I understand you kept working, but how did you make the transition from still being a working actor, but to also being a talent agent?
Well, I'm not actually a talent agent. I'm going to correct you on that one point.
My apologies.
I am a convention manager.
Okay.
So what that means is agents for actors to get union work are franchised and sanctioned in the state of California and New York. I am a convention booker, which means I bring celebrities, already well-known people, to events to meet their fans. So that's what I'm booking.
Gotcha.
And I keep them busy between gigs. As an actor, that really is important. I mean, our industry has seen a real compression of salary. The middle-class actor is struggling to make ends meet. If a middle-class actor makes $100,000 a year, after they pay their taxes, their agents, their managers, their publicists, they might walk with $25,000 of that. Yes, because they're taxed at a very high rate, and even though they have write-off, their expenses of their managers and agents and all of that come right off the top, not after tax.
Right.
So it's a very difficult thing, even if you're doing 7, 10, 8 guest stars, maybe 13 guest stars a year at top of show, you're making $100,000 before expenses. And it is expensive to pursue an acting career. So the conventions help them get by, and a couple of my guys are making very good money and started some foundations, and as Amanda Tapping has a wonderful foundation, Sanctuary for Kids. Misha Collins has Random Acts. Wonderful. Patricia Tallman has Penny Lane. So many of my actors are also using the convention bookings for philanthropy.
Yeah, to pay it forward, that's great.
Absolutely.
So what other projects do we have? I mean, is it any acting roles or
Yes.
music roles that we're looking forward to in the future?
Well, I have a short film that's making the festival circuits right now called The Call, and I play a staff sergeant in the Marine Corps whose son is being bullied. And I'm not really paying much attention because it's a boy. And I'm thinking, you're a little boy, boys fight, it's not a big deal. Until I see a little girl who's being actually abused by her father, who happens to be my CO. And I have to step up for her. And in doing so, I realize that my son needs me to step up for him too. Mm-hmm. And it's a short film going around right now. And then I have a couple of things I've worked on producing. But basically, I've been working on a project that's going to launch June 27 through 29, 2014 in Oakland, California. I started a company with my oldest son, who was 30 years old, Dustin Brown. And he came to me 2 years ago and said, Mom, I want to do something to support, kids. And I said, well, why don't we do an event together? He said, because you should run your own event. And I said, well, I'm not really interested in being a convention promoter, but I would love to do something that was educational at its core. And so we want to put the science back in science fiction, and we're going to do Evolution Expo, June 27 through 29 in Oakland, California, and we're going to put real scientists together with the stars who portray them, and we're going to bring in a lot of kids, we're going to bring in a lot of young people, talk about career opportunities in the space program and other sciences, and we will, while we are for profit, at the core of our budget is philanthropy.
Right.
So it's built right into the budget to give back.
Excellent. Ms. Brown, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure to interview you.
Thank you very much.